In this episode of See, Taste, Do, we're heading up north to Lindsborg, Kansas, also known as Little Sweden, USA. Lindsborg was founded in 1869 by Swedish immigrants. This town proudly celebrates its heritage with art, food, and festivals. From the historic charm of Main Street to the rich heritage that's all around. There's so much to see, taste, and do. So come along as we explore the sights, flavors, and traditions that make Lindsborg a true cultural gem in the heart of Kansas. Our first stop takes us to the heart of Lindsborg, Kansas, the Old Mill and Swedish Heritage Museum. This vibrant landmark is a living tribute to the pioneering spirit of the Smoky Valley. With hands-on exhibits and beautifully preserved history, the museum brings the past to life, celebrating the rich cultural heritage that shaped this unique community across generations. I'm Phil Richardson with See, Taste, Do, and today we're with Adam Pratt. Adam, tell us all about the museum here.
Wow, there's so much to describe and explain. We are currently in the 1898 Smoky Valley roller mills. So you do the math on that, it's 127 years old.
Wow, that's very old.
Yes. What's even more amazing is it still runs.
Oh my.
So all of this machinery behind us, it's this beautiful wooden machinery. The leather belting is original. There's this painted steel, and every single piece of machinery in here still runs. It is the only historic flour mill of its kind in the Midwest that we can still turn on and operate.
Wow.
Once a year, it's always the first Saturday in May, we have Mill Fest, and that is the opportunity for people to take a guided tour through the mill as it's running.
Wow,
and
that's cool.
It is such an experience. It's so cool. You can hear the rumble all around you. The purifiers on the second floor are like giant baby rattles that just shake the floor. We have 3 sifters on the 3rd floor, and as they are spinning around at high speed, you can actually feel the floor moving underneath you. It is an experience.
So with the floor moving, how does that work out with the integrity of the structure? I mean, the floor actually moves? Is that what you're saying?
The floor moves, but they were smart about it.
Yeah.
They made sure that the floor was designed to move.
Oh, okay.
So it's actually on supports from the floor below, and as those are moving, it will just sort of float on top of supports going to the floor below.
Okay.
And you can actually go to the edge of where the floor meets the wall, and you realize it's not actually attached to the outer wall. It is meant to have a little gap there and fluctuate.
Wow. You know what is amazing to me is the engineering way back over 100 and some years ago, how they figured all of that out. And
Absolutely.
Just when you look at the beauty of the wood and the angles of the wood, I mean, it always floors me how way back, that far back, that they figured all this stuff out without computers, mind you.
Historical people were still smart.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know, we like to think that we're modern people who are superior, but you know, really people had a very practical, hands-on knowledge of how to do things, and that's really what's on demonstration here. The other really amazing thing is as you're walking around, you realize, you know, we did not have electric lights in here in 1898. We didn't have air conditioning. You know, we have a single ceiling fan, which was the way that they got cooled off as they were working and packing up their flour. It was a sweaty, grimy, hard job. But as you look around here, you start seeing these little artistic touches. There's covers for the conduit where you would check the grain. And you know, that just needs to be a square block, really.
Yeah.
But they make these beautiful little teardrop shapes that are on top of them covering each one up. There's stenciling all over the place. There's leaf shape patterns instead of just regular holes where they need venting. I really see so much humanity here.
So there's a lot of art involved, you would say.
Absolutely.
I mean, instead of just plain circles or what have you, they actually created artistic things.
I describe this as a 4 stories of a single machine, but also a 4-story work of art.
Yeah.
It's really what attracted me here. It's what attracted Malcolm, who was a silversmith in the area. He really brought people together around preserving and remaking this place, and initially there was some confusion about why you'd want to do so, because it was just seen as, oh, it's just the industrial side of town. But he, as an artist, I think really kind of led that vision of going, this is not just a factory, this is a beautiful place and a place worth preserving. And you know, 127 years later, we're still here and still able to turn it on and just give people that experience, this little time capsule. You know, how often can you really have that experience of traveling back in time?
Yeah.
And for just a few minutes, really getting a sense of what was it like to be a historical person who was here during that time. I mean, you're talking 1898, Wright brothers hadn't flown yet.
Oh, wow.
You know, electricity wasn't ubiquitous yet. There's so much that it was a different world, and yet in 1898, the process they were using is still basically the process that we use today. Today we're safer, more efficient, and there's a few computers involved.
Right.
But you know, you can see the one-to-one and really realize, yeah, 127 years ago plus, they basically had figured out how best to make flour.
Yeah, and then starting at the beginning, so when the farmers would come in to the mill, what would be the process in an overview?
Sure. So our main office just off of here is where they would really be interacting with the most. It's interesting, it's kind of like the bank teller being a part of your factory right there. And you would come in with, you know, at first your wagon, later on your truck, get weighed with the full amount of grain. And then originally there was a grain elevator just outside in the green space over here. You'd go unload over there as that was getting ready to be made into flour. Circle around, get your unloaded weight and your difference there, that's your payday.
Okay, so it's start to finish.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, the grain as it was coming in would be all kinds of different conditions, you know. Some was really clean, some would come in with sticks and weeds and chicken feed in it, you know, and some of those first few steps that they would go through would actually make sure that none of that was hitting to your fancy expensive roller mills. And you know, so we got an industrial strength magnet as part of it up there, and that would get out things like barbed wire and nails. And then you'd also have like a coarse separator, which would just get out the big stuff, you know, your chicken feet, your weeds, all that kind of stuff. You know, I would have really liked to know the owner of this mill, who was named Theo Teichgraber. He was a German immigrant and came from a milling family. And you know, initially this was run off the river, off of turbines running through it. And the Smoky Hill River was notoriously inconsistent. He once got quoted in the paper saying that he was going to go sue the chicken farmer Randy Jenkins because he kept trying to water his chickens at the same time that they were trying to run the mill, and there was not enough capacity to accommodate both. So, I mean, obviously he was joking around, but he really got frustrated that he couldn't get enough power out of the river. So he added a steam engine, right? The problem with steam engines is they like to explode.
Oh, that's no good.
No. And in fact, he fortunately once got burned by one. And you might go, Adam, you said fortunately burned. That's not right. Well, what happened was he got scalded by a cap blowing off. So he got laid up for about a week. but it ended up being a good thing because during that week, the entire steam engine exploded into him.
Oh.
And he probably would have been taken out by that. There was some tough stuff that people were made of back in the day. The other story about Theo was one time they were installing one of the turbines, and they had the scaffolding around it, you know, to kind of hold it up as they were dropping it down in there. And one of the legs of the scaffolding broke. And he was trying to turn away, like, whoa.
Yeah.
And these turbines are huge, you know, a ton.
Right.
It swung, whacked him in the back of the head. And what he wrote was, I had to ice it for a while. I had a little bit of a soft spot on the back of my head, but that was all.
Yeah, that was it.
Theo.
Those people were tough. We don't even know the half.
Yeah, you know, and you know, the big benefit of today in flour milling is much safer.
Much safer, yeah.
Their injuries were things that happened.
Yeah.
Back in the day before you really had someone looking at them.
Yeah.
Nobody ever died here that we found any ever records of, but you definitely, you know, it was a different time.
Yeah.
But you can really also relate to those people in a real personal way. It was, like I say, you wouldn't have had lights, you wouldn't have had the air conditioning. They would tend to try to work early morning, late evening to try to avoid heat of the day with that. Yeah.
So when the mill shut down as a full production mill, what year would that have been?
That would have been 1955.
So 70 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's still beautiful.
Absolutely.
It's wonderful.
You know, and it's one of these places that we very nearly lost. After it did close down, there was, you know, not quite a decade, you know, about 5-6 years, where it was essentially abandoned as just an industrial building. The leather belting was starting to deteriorate, like will happen with an abandoned building. Some of the windows started getting broken out. And it was really that vision in the early 1960s to turn it into a museum that is why we still have it today. At one point, there were about 400 small mills like this.
Wow.
Just in Kansas.
Man, just in our state.
Just in Kansas. And, you know, this is really kind of last standing. Not even in Kansas, but really the Midwest.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, we've had a great time here. It's a beautiful building. Just the angles, I'm impressed with the angles of the wood. I mean, for the angles of the wood, it's just amazing. We've had a great time. We appreciate you taking some time to tell us about the mill, and thank you so much.
Yeah. Can I mention too, this is one building that we have here.
Yeah.
We have 10 historic buildings on 15 acres. So after you see the mill, there's so much more to see, including we have the 1904 St. Louis World's Fair Swedish Pavilion, which is under repair right now. Should be done by this summer for people to go inside again.
Excellent.
So there's, once you start with the old mill, you can go and see
the
so
whole
much
day.
more.
Yeah.
You can easily spend a whole day here, very easily.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. We really appreciate you being here today.
You bet. What a great experience we had at the Old Mill Swedish Heritage Museum. Now we're going into Indicode Mood Ice Cream for a tasty treat. Come along. Allison.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm Phil Richardson with See, Taste, Do. We're
Nice to meet you.
excited to be here.
We're glad to have you.
So tell us about Indigo Mood. That's the ice cream place, right?
Yes.
Tell us all about it.
Well, we make everything here in-house from scratch, from as many local ingredients as we can. So local milk and cream. And we've been open, we're coming up on 4 years already. We
Okay.
opened in 2021. So,
Well, what's the passion? What made you do an ice cream store?
well, ice cream is, most people like ice cream, so
Yeah.
that's a good thing. But also, I am really passionate about community, and Lindsborg didn't have a place that was open in the evening for families to come and celebrate. So that was the real passion behind it.
Okay.
And so we often will stay open late for kids' concerts
Yeah.
or ball games. And
So it smells wonderful, but what I want to know is, can you teach me to make something? I love ice cream and everything about ice cream.
yes, well, how about a waffle cone?
That sounds great. Let's do
Okay.
it.
All right, well, come on back. All right, so this is our waffle iron.
Okay. So gotta have a little butter.
Yep,
Yeah.
we'll get it nice and buttery. Then we take a good full scoop of waffle batter.
Secret ingredient.
Yeah.
Waffle batter, right?
We'll see if you can taste the secret ingredient when you taste it.
I will check it out.
Then we hit the timer.
Set that for a minute.
Yep. And
Just like at the hotel when but you don't flip it sideways.
Right. It'll be a little thinner, and we'll shape it into
Okay.
a cone.
And then you're going to use this apparatus here to circle it on there, right?
Yep. That's how we
Okay.
do it.
That's pretty amazing. Whoever invented this, I mean, it's all perfect to make a waffle cone.
It is.
So tell us a little bit about, after the cone's made, then what are these things?
These are Whoppers, just
Oh, okay.
balls, and we put them in the bottom.
Okay.
The goal is to keep the ice cream from dripping out as best we can.
Okay.
So when we roll the cone, I'll show you how to cinch the end a little bit,
Okay.
and then we put the Whopper in there.
So it's like a stopper, if
Yeah.
you will.
Yeah.
It stops the ice cream from dripping through.
It's kind of a fun surprise if people don't know that they're in there.
Oh, okay. It's like the treat at the end of
That's
the ice
right.
cream cone.
That
Yeah.
is right. All right.
Okay.
So we lift it up. Peel it off. All right, do you want to do the rolling?
Sure, I'll try. What
All
do I
right,
do?
so just start rolling.
Oh,
Yep. And then we'll
Okay.
just pinch the end, just like this. Yep,
and
there
then
you go.
out.
We let it cool
Oh,
for just a
okay.
minute so
Okay.
it'll set. So we'll give it just a little bit of time.
And then it'll automatically seam. I mean, where
Yep.
the seam is, it'll come together.
We can check it now. We might put that on the end here. Kind of seal it on there.
Yeah.
And there you go. There's your
Okay.
cone.
Oh, very nice.
And you can put a Whopper
And then
in
I
there.
get a little Whopper, just one, right?
Just one.
Okay, and then boom.
There you go. You
Oh, that's awesome. So my very own waffle cone, and I'm going to put some ice cream in it next,
did it.
I
Sounds
bet.
good. Yes.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
Okay, so Allison, now is the difficult choice.
Yeah.
What do I want, right?
That's right.
There's 12 flavors to choose from. So I'm gonna go with the pretzel,
Okay.
what is that called?
That one is called Cycle Tracks.
Okay.
And that cycle is spelled the Swedish way, of course, because
Okay.
we're in Little Sweden.
Yep.
And this is the custom flavor for our high school and middle school mountain biking club that's brand new this year.
Oh, very cool.
So-
Well, that's what I would love.
All right.
Okay.
Well, we'll get it for
I'll let you do the scooping because I don't want to mess it up.
First, we'll put a little bit in the bottom so that you don't.
Yeah. That looks pretty tasty, I tell you. Oh my, you're getting a big roll.
This is a single size
Look at that.
scoop.
That looks fabulous.
There you
Oh,
go.
thank you. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a bite. It's so good I'm dropping it.
I'm glad
That's
you
some
like
good
it.
ice cream right there. I love that. Pretzels and peanut butter cup
Yep.
and vanilla ice cream.
Yep. And chocolate and caramel syrup.
That's wonderful. I might have to get one to go.
Well, we've got plenty to try.
Well, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Thanks for coming.
You bet. Now we're at the Hemsloyd where we're going to learn all about the Dala horses inside, and then we're going to get on the quadricycle and burn off that ice cream and take a tour around town. And now we are here with Corey Peterson at the Hemsloyd in Lindsborg, Kansas. And Corey, thank you for having us.
Welcome, we're glad to have you with us.
Well, tell us about the shop here. I see lots and lots of wooden horses, and they're beautiful.
Well, this is, we're called the Hemsloyd, named after the Hemsloyds in Sweden. This was founded in 1984 by some neighbors, and
Okay.
a gentleman was making Dala horses out of his house, and he decided to make a business all around the Dala horse.
Wow. And you sell them all around the world? Is
We
that
do.
right?
We have, even sell a few back to Sweden, which is pretty unique, but we do. We sell about 1,000 horses a year that we create here in our shop.
And I've seen many on the sidewalks. So how did that get started?
That was started around 2000, where the citizens of Lindsborg decided that it'd be kind of fun to expand on our trademark, or our kind of our symbol of, we adopted the Dala horse back in the 1950s or 60s, that the Dala horse would be kind of our brand. And they thought that it would be fun to utilize the artists that we have in our town and celebrate them and our Swedish tradition at the same time. And they created the wild Dala camp, the herd that they have now throughout our town.
So tell me, how did you get involved with this? Like, what's your background?
I grew up in Lindsborg.
Okay.
About a half a block from the founder of the Hemsloyd. His family were very close to me. One of his daughters was one of my best friends growing up, and they all wanted to retire, and they contacted us when we lived in another town, but it got us to move back a little early. So that was purely it. We just wanted to continue their legacy that they created back in 1984 when they started this.
And then about the designers, you have people that actually do the painting of the Dala. So a little bit about those folks. What kind of age range are the designers? I mean, I would think they'd have to be very, very professional. So you probably have older folks doing this, or not?
We do. We have Shirley, who's been with us for decades. She's probably in her, or not probably, she is in her 80s, and she's still helping us out. And we have another artist that's about my age, actually my wife's age. And then we have a college student that is a phenomenal talent that is painting for us, and she's one of the best artists I've ever met, actually. She does a great job.
So when you talk to folks coming in, what's the furthest away somebody has come to Lindsborg to come into this shop?
Just to come to Lindsborg?
Yeah, just to come to Lindsborg.
Oh, probably one of the coasts. We get a lot of visitors from the East Coast, New York. We get them from California and Oregon, Washington. But we actually have people, they don't come all the way to the United States to tour us, but a lot of visitors from Europe and other places will stop in Lindsborg, and thankfully they stop in and see us.
Anybody from Sweden?
Oh, yes.
I could imagine.
Yes, we get a lot of Sweden visitors, and I don't speak very good Swedish or at all, and my brother does, so we always kind of point them towards him. But we do get a lot of visitors. If there's someone from Sweden, they'll come and visit if they're in an area. Probably the most common one that we get is when we have foreign exchange students. And they may be staying with the family on the corners of the state, but they'll make their trip here to see us, so that's fun.
Well, we've had a great day in Lindsborg, and we sure appreciate it, Corey.
Well,
thank you so much.
Thank you for coming to visit, and hope you come back again.
You bet. And now we're here with Holly Lofton. And Holly, we just saw the Dala horses inside. So what's in store next?
Well, another fun aspect of the Hemsloyd, our Dala horse factory, is that you can ride quadricycles here. These are made in Italy, but we have them in Little Sweden, and they're so much fun. A good shady ride on a hot day, because they do have a cover on them, but you can take them up and down our 4.5-mile Volkomen Trail, or you can take them up and down our beautiful brick streets. So let's go.
Let's do it.
Okay, are you ready for this?
I'm ready. Take the brake off.
Yep. Okay, let's do it.
Okay, here we go.
This is about as fast as you'll go.
Okay. So, Holly, tell us a little bit where we're going here.
We're going to head down Main Street, and as you can see, we have brick streets almost all the way down Main Street. They actually were going to take these out a number of years ago, and people threw a fit over it because they wanted so badly to have brick streets.
So what's the population of Lindsborg?
Just over 3,800, so not very big.
Yeah.
So I always say small but mighty. Lindsborg is an amazing place. My husband and I chose to move here because we love visiting here, and so we have not changed that feeling over the years. We love all the arts here. We love the music and the theater and all of those things. And my husband loves to cycle. We've got a great trail system. We have 4.5 miles of paved trail just in town. And then, of course, we now connect to the Metal Art Trail, which this summer will be open all the way to McPherson, which
Oh,
is
wow.
fantastic.
How many miles would that be?
Another 13.
Wow, okay.
So we're going to turn left here.
Oh, we're turning left here.
Turn your blinker on.
Turn your blinker on.
This is Messiah Lutheran Church, and this was built just simply because the college president at that time felt like they needed to have a English-speaking Lutheran church.
Okay.
And at that time, Bethany Church was still all Swedish-speaking. So they started this church for those students that needed to have a church home
Yeah.
that did not speak Swedish. This is the Sunzane Gallery to our left.
Okay.
It's wonderful.
What's the student count at Beth?
So
Bethany.
usually they run, I would say, around 700 students a
Okay.
year. It just kind of varies from year to year.
A lot of Victorian-looking houses, I see.
Yeah, a lot of beautiful houses. This
Yeah.
was Swenson's home a long time ago. This house that's yellow right here. This was where the college president lived. Now one of our grade school music teachers lives there, and she is fantastic.
Yeah.
Do you want to go pop up on the trail for a little bit?
Where's that at?
Just half a block this way.
Yeah.
And go back that direction.
Okay.
See that? Okay, blinker
So we're
time.
gonna go put my blinker on. And we're gonna go up on now is this a dirt trail?
Nope, it's
Okay,
paved.
paved trail.
4.5 miles of paved trail through Lindsborg. Yeah,
I think I'm burning that ice cream off.
it doesn't take much. These are good exercise.
Yeah.
This is called the Volkomen Trail. It means welcome in Swedish.
Okay. So these little rest areas for people that are on the walking trail, they need to take a break.
Yeah,
can take a
people that
break.
just see people come out here and just sit and read books
Yeah.
or just relax.
Oh, it's a skateboard park.
Yeah, it's
huh?
a little skateboard park.
That's cool.
So kids use that all the time, or they'll ride their bikes on it too.
Yeah.
You know, it's a good little place to jump off.
Are we gonna turn or
We're gonna turn right here on Main Street. Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, do we need to stop?
Just slow down.
I don't want to get a
Nobody's
ticket.
coming. We're not gonna get a ticket.
I'll say I know
be
Holly. We know Holly. She can get us out of a ticket.
They'll give me. I don't know about that. I think they'll be a little understanding since there's no one at the stop. It's right back to where we started.
That's where we started.
Close to the ice cream if you have to go back.
Yeah. Whew, boy, that was good stuff.
Oh, I know.
But I'm turned around. We're over here. We're on the left.
We're on
right?
the left
yeah.
of the Hemsley. Yep.
Yeah.
Point left.
Okay.
Now we're turning.
We're gonna turn into the parking lot, and I'll have to attempt to park this bad boy.
They don't back up, so we'll just push it backwards.
Oh, we don't back up? I guess you
They
can't
don't
go back.
back.
Oh, we can't go back. Okay.
Just don't put the brake on and we'll
Oh,
push
okay.
it.
We'll leave it off.
We'll give it a push and just do
Oh,
it.
here, let me get out. What a day we had in Little Sweden. From the rich history to the vibrant culture, we truly experienced the heart and soul of Lindsborg. This small town is packed with charm and unforgettable moments. Thanks for coming along as we experience this amazing town. If you would like us to come to your town or know of a great hidden gem, email us at ctastedo@kpts.org. We'll see you next time on See, Taste, Do.